Was good, ballers? It's Jim's Ballin' back again with the pigskin pick on the predictions for last week of the season, week 18. Let's recap week 17 real quick. I went 12-4. There was a couple of picks I missed, a couple I kind of regret picking, but all in all, it was a pretty good week. Still got this fire emoji because I'm fire as fuck, boy. 166-90 on the season. Overall, pretty decent. But now we're into week 18. Some games that might be a little bit hard to pick. Some games with playoff implications. Some games with teams resting their starters. So a little bit of a tricky week. A little bit of a minefield to walk through, but I think we can do it. Starting off with the Browns at the Ravens. And the Ravens should very easily demolish the Browns here. I think the Browns just don't have any fight. Their offense can't put up any points at all. We saw the Ravens just demolish the Texans last week. Didn't allow the Texans to get any offensive points at all. And I think it'll be similar this week. I think the Ravens are just going to dookie all over the Browns. Just Brown all over the Browns. This game's not going to be close. The Ravens easily are going to win this one. I'm going to go with the Ravens winning this one with like some shit like 69-0. Next up, a really good one Saturday night. The Bengals at the Steelers. The Bengals need to win to get into the playoffs. And the Steelers, they're in the playoffs, but I don't know, they could like a win to get better seeding, that type of thing. But I think I'm going to go with the Bengals here. Just how red hot the Bengals have been. I think they get the win here, even on the road against Steelers. We've seen the Steelers keep sliding and losing game after game after game against these good teams. With how red hot the Bengals have been, they're a really good team, and I think the Steelers just lose another one. It's hard to have faith in the Steelers team, man, I'm telling you. And I think the Bengals are going to win this one 24-19. Next up, we got the Panthers at the Falcons. I don't know, I think Michael Penix Jr. is a good quarterback, and I think he'll do enough to beat the Panthers, considering how awful the Panthers looked last week. Got demolished by the Bucs. I think it'll maybe be like that. Maybe not as bad, but the Falcons should win this one. I'm going to go with Atlanta 24-13. Next up, we got the Commanders at the Cowboys. The Commanders got a good win last week in overtime against the Falcons. The Cowboys just got demolished by the Eagles. And I think the Cowboys are just kind of checked out. I think they're done for the season. They don't really have any incentive to win this game other than, I don't know, beat the Commanders that are in the playoffs, maybe make their seeding a little worse, I guess. The game doesn't matter that much, and I think with how good the Commanders are, how good Jane Daniels is, I think the Commanders win this one pretty easily. I'm going to go with Washington 30-13. Next up, we got the Bears at the Packers, and Bears coming off a game where they only put up 3 points, looked like super ass. Packers lost to the Vikings. Tough loss, but kind of looked like the Packers are just struggle against the best of the best teams, and seems like they can only beat the bad teams. That's just kind of how it looks like, you know? But yeah, with the Packers at home and how ass the Bears have been looking, the Bears on a 10-game losing streak. Come on, do we think they're going to end that streak this week? No way. Packers will win this one, I think, pretty easily. I'm going to go with the Packers 24-13. Next up, we got the Texans at the Titans. And this might be a super ass game. I mean, the Texans don't really have any incentive to play their starters. They already locked up the number 4 seed, so probably resting guys a lot. The Titans, I mean, like I said, the Texans already locked up their playoff spots, so beating them doesn't really do anything other than tank your draft stock. The Texans don't really care about the win. The Titans, but I feel like ultimately out of the two teams, the Titans probably want to lose more to help their draft stock, you know? So I'm going to go with the Texans barely winning this one. Probably a really boring game, but kind of close. I'm going to go with Texans 13-10. Next up, it's the Jaguars at the Colts. And I think I'm going to go with the Colts here. Just after that embarrassing loss last week, they probably want to rebound and get final win on the season, you know? The Jaguars, they beat their division opponent last week. They're probably content on their season. Probably want to lose a game to get better draft stock, so they'll probably lose the game to the Colts here. So I'm going to go with the Colts winning this one 21-13. Next up, it's the Bills at the Patriots. And the Bills kind of locked up their playoff spot, and Patriots been looking really ass. I still feel like the Bills will probably walk out with a W just because the Patriots are kind of bad, kind of ass. Might be kind of close with the Patriots at home here, but I don't know. The Patriots probably want a good draft pick too, so losing the game might be in their incentive, so I'm gonna go with the Bills winning this one 20-17. Next up, it's the Giants at the Eagles, and the Giants already tanked the draft stock by winning last week, so will they win this week? Maybe. I feel like the Giants will try their hardest to win the game, but end up still losing it anyway. And with Saquon looking to break that rushing record, I feel like Saquon will probably run all over the Giants, and the Eagles will put up enough points to win this game. I feel like it'll be kind of close, but I'm going with the Eagles 20-17. Next up, we got the Saints at the Bucks. And the Saints looked super butt last week, super booty. With injured running backs and injured quarterbacks, I don't know, the Saints offense can't really do too much, and I don't know, I think they know their season's done. They don't really have any incentive to win this game other than, I don't know, maybe upset a division opponent looking to make the playoffs. But with the Bucks just destroying the Panthers last week, they're at home, they'll probably destroy the Saints. The Saints will probably try their hardest to get a win to upset division opponent for their pride, but they'll look super ass trying to do it. I think the Bucks, Baker Mayfield to keep baking. I think the Bucks win this one kind of easily, 30-9. Next up, it's the Chiefs at the Broncos. And the Broncos need this win to get into the playoffs. They're at home. The Chiefs already locked up the number 1 seed. They really don't have any incentive to play their starters, but I think just with how the Broncos have fumbled the last couple of games, they've had chances to win but still lose anyway. I think this game will most likely kind of end up that way too. I think even with backups, I think the Chiefs will still sneak out with a win. I think the Broncos just keep fumbling the bag, and I think they'll fumble the bag again and miss out on the playoffs really disappointingly. And the Chiefs probably do want to block a division opponent from making the playoffs maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs here winning this one 19-17. Next up, it's the Chargers at the Raiders. I don't know, I think the Raiders got their last couple of wins, so I think they're content on the season. They probably want to lose, get a better draft pick. So the Chargers, they beat up on bad teams, so the Chargers will most likely beat up on the Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Chargers winning this one 30-13. Next up, it's the Seahawks at the Rams. The Rams already locked up their positioning in the playoffs, so this game's kind of meaningless to them. They'll probably rest their starters a bit. The Seahawks, I don't know. I feel like the Seahawks will probably win this one. Might be kind of close. Just basically off of pride alone, the Seahawks will probably win this one. Be like, hey, we got a 10-7 record. That's pretty good, even though we missed the playoffs. Just that type shit. I feel like the Seahawks will probably win this one, especially with starters being rest for the Rams. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here winning this one. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks 17-14. Next up, it's the Dolphins at the Jets. The Dolphins desperate for a win here. They need the win to try to make the playoffs, but with the Jets here, they're at home looking to play spoiler against a division opponent. And you know what? I think I will go with the Jets here to get the win. Yes, the Jets have been ass, but you know who's super ass in cold weather games? That's right, the Dolphins. The Jets are at home. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be cold, so I think the Dolphins will freeze up and fumble away their opportunity to make the playoffs. And the Jets, I don't know, maybe a bit of a feel-good win, a little bit after such a disappointing season. Maybe enough of a win to bring Aaron Rodgers back next year. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets 21-14. Next up, we got the 49ers at the Cardinals. And just with how disappointing the Cardinals have been the past couple of weeks, and 49ers been looking competitive, looking a little bit better the past couple of weeks, I think the 49ers will end up getting the win here. Super meaningless game here, but I think the 49ers still win regardless. I'm going to go with San Francisco 28-17. And last up, Sunday night game, the biggest game of the year so far. We got the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions, and it's going to be close. Could go either way. It could be 50-50. It's just ridiculous that one of these teams will be 14-3 and just be a wild card spot and not get a home playoff game. Like, imagine being 14-3 and having the 5 seed. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this is going to be a really good game. I feel like there'll be a lot of points put up on the board here. But ultimately, I think the Lions will walk away with the win here. I think the Lions will win on a game-winning field goal, you know? Really close, really good game. A lot of respect for the Vikings. They're a really solid team, but I just have more faith in the Lions here, and they're at home here. And with that advantage, I think I gotta go with the Lions here, winning this one 31-30. And that will do it for these Week 18 picks. We'll see how things shake out. Overall, pretty decent record for making picks for the year, but could have been better. But yeah, Week 18 picks. crazy last week of the season. But that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching. This has been Jim's Ballin', and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.